Ah, I think we're live. You'd think I would have paid attention from last week, but I feel the need to check. I'll pick up my phone and check, shall I? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Let's Learn Live with me, Levi Clay, Captain Unprepared. Actually, I don't feel comfortable calling myself Captain Unprepared because, how can I be unprepared when I've prepared all of this downloadable notation for you? But I hope everybody is well. Please do drop a comment in the comments section in the live chat if you can see this stream. Pretty sure we're live. I got an email to say that we're live, so yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, drop a comment in the comment section so I know that you're out there, and I will get started in a second. Do some playing, talk about this monstrosity of a guitar that I'm holding. Yeah, I'm definitely live. Okay, cool. And I can see that people are online. Excellent. So today we are going to be talking about, there's a dog in here and he is going to, now he's decided to sit in front of me and cough. Today we are going to be looking at some minor 7 workouts, minor 7 vocabulary. I've got a full, selection, I think, of 9 exercises. 2 of them are very long, though. Really, mate? Do you have to? Someone call the vet. How embarrassing. Yeah, so we do have a bunch of downloadable guitar profiles and PDF files. So if you would like to get yourself a copy of those PDF files, there is a download sheet which you can get. If you look in the description, there is a bit.ly link. I think it's bit.ly/Let's Learn Live 2. Because this is the second week of Let's Learn Live. Because, of course, this is a stream that I'm going to be doing every single week now. So, yes, someone say something in the live chat so I know that messages are actually working. That would really help me. Because I can see people are online, but I can't see any comments coming in. So, yes, check out the link in the description and go and get yourself a copy of the guitar profile and the PDF file. Then you'll be able to practice along with me. But, of course, work on these things in your own time, in your own practice time. So, good use of your time. This stream is also brought to you by, of course, my Patreon page. My face just got out of focus. My camera that's not on autofocus. Nice. Yeah. So this stream is brought to you by my Patreon page. So if you want to go and check that out, you can get hundreds of access. Oh, I can see a comment. Access to hundreds of transcriptions, ear training videos, weekly guided practice routines, private lessons, and much more. It says private lesson. I mean, technically you get a lesson every month. So I guess it is private lesson. But private lesson and much more. If you don't want to do that, head on over to my Patreon page and you can download the guitar profiles for any of my books. Of course, I did have a new book come out just last week, my Arpeggio book, Guided Guitar Arpeggio Practice Routines. So we are going to look at that. Looking forward to what I'm going to do here. Yeah, hopefully you have fun with this long live rock and roll. Minor 7 vocabulary today, and minor 7 stuff is really cool. So let's talk about the guitar. Yes, you may have seen that Fender just announced this Squier Hello Kitty guitar. And I'm not affiliated with Fender. I don't have a deal with Fender. I purchased this with my own money. It was relatively cheap, I think, for what it is. I think it's kind of like kooky. I've always been into like kooky guitars. This is the opposite of who I am as a player now. I don't want to play a guitar like this. But it just felt too perfect to not pick one up. For the juxtaposition of teaching jazz, blues, fusion, country on a guitar like this. So don't worry, we'll be back to a regular scheduling, regular guitars moving forwards. But yeah, I did pick up one of these Hello Kitty Strats, and it's fine for what it is. It's better quality than the original ones, but at the end of the day, it is a guitar with a fixed bridge, cheap tuners, so it doesn't stay in tune very well. A single pickup in the bridge and one knob. So in terms of tonal variation, there is none whatsoever. It sounds the way it sounds, and action's high. And is it a great beginner guitar? Maybe. I really don't think the price is terrible for a beginner guitar, but I'm always going to want some versatility with my instrument. I'm always going to want to put some neck pickup on or some split pickup sounds. So being stuck with just So I'm going to warm up. I'm going to play some. I'm just going to jam over a little loop. I'm just going to record a loop for you. This is me thinking of "Lovely Day" by Bill Withers, and yeah, in the downtime, get some comments in, get some questions in, and we will talk about the stuff. So. Yeah, I like playing Lovely Day, it's a fun one. Helps if you play the right chord. How do I change that? Like that. It's an A major. Who have we got in the chat? So Noah Kelman has shown up. So Noah, for anyone unfamiliar, please do go over to Noah's channel, Noah Kelman. Noah is a fabulous pianist educator. Somebody that I'm currently in talks of joining up to his mentorship program. So hopefully Noah will be taking me on as one of his mentor students over the coming months. Let's bring my face back up. Over the coming months. He's a fabulous pianist, fabulous educator. He's got a wonderful ear. I followed his work for a very, very long time. And of course, as you guys know, I've been taking piano much more seriously for the last 4 years now. I actually have more piano gigs this year now for the rest of the year than guitar gigs. Piano gigs just keep coming in. So I'm looking forward to taking my jazz piano playing to the next level, studying with Noah. So go and check his channel out. He's just a fabulous educator. And as I've always said to you guys, like I might be a guitar player. I might play the guitar. But I don't think of myself as a guitar teacher. I think of myself as a music teacher. I teach music. The guitar just feels ridiculous picking this up. But guitar is the instrument that I use to express my musical ideas, my musicality. But the music itself is something that is internalized, right? And that's just how I get it out. So I still think that even if you're a guitar player, listening to the educational materials from other great instrumentalists is a great use of your time. So you will learn a ton about harmony by studying the piano, and Noah is one of the best of the best. I was going to say some of the best of the best. That's not how that works. One of the best of the best. So do go and check him out. Let's read other comments and then we'll get studying. So great quasi R&B licks. Yeah, they are quasi R&B to be fair. I do play in a soul band, but there's only so soul you can be when you're a white guy from Suffolk. We all talk like that. I don't speak like that anymore, but I used to. Everyone where I'm from, they all speak like that. They've got this bit of a twang in their accent and talk about working on the farms with their combine harvesters. I never pull that accent out, but there we go. Come on, Levi, I gotta say, put that Hello Kitty guitar away. Oh, sorry, Alan. I'm so sorry. I will get out the Gibson. I will. It is just in front of me, but I thought, you know what it was? To be honest, mate, I thought it would be fun to have this in the thumbnail of the video, because YouTube's one of those fickle beasts. Like, this time last year, my channel was getting like 1 million views a month. And we're down to like 300,000 views a month now. I used to upload a video every day and I would consistently, 50,000 views on a video. And now I upload a video and if it gets 5,000, it's something to celebrate. It's funny how the YouTube algorithm works. And I have resorted to the worst type of clickbait, which is a catchy thumbnail. But rather than photoshopping the guitar into a thumbnail, I'm not a financially smart man, apparently. I thought I would just spend the money to buy a prop. So, there you go. Yeah, I did get the Hello Kitty guitar collar. Actually, I should have sent you a picture of this. I sent Sue a picture as soon as I got it, and a video of me playing the Hello Kitty theme. So back to live streaming again. Yes, only the Magnus guitars will do. Ad blockers violate YouTube's terms of service. They do, and they violate my terms of service. I would like it if you didn't have an ad blocker on, because then this video might make a tiny bit of money, and if the video makes a tiny bit of money, then I might one day be able to pay this off. Noah is a pretty good name. I can only assume my knees hurt that Noah may well be your name. My knees hurt. Learned a lot from transposing flute etudes over to guitar from the past year. Yeah, absolutely. Let's bequeathed. Oh yeah, I guess bequeathed. I see what you've done there. You've put queef in there. Bequeathed. It took a long time to. I would also rather you just gave me money. My knees hurt. Anyway, bequeathed. Yeah. So you're totally right there. Transposing. So I actually, when I was younger, I was close to a flautist. So I had experience playing with somebody who played a lot of flute. But in all honesty, I'd never studied flute repertoire. No, I never transposed or transcribed, I guess, arranged. Not sure the best way to put that. Flute music over to the guitar. I did some with violin because, I'm a cliche. So when I was in college, I did, Paganini stuff. 5 and 24, obviously the common ones, the cliche ones that you see people play. But I actually think 16, the 16th Caprice, is a really good one for some melodic lines. But of course, I'm really into my jazz vocabulary, so horn lines. A ton of like Michael Brecker stuff, and of course like the Parker stuff. And now I'm moving into being in love with the piano, and also the jazz organ. I love the jazz organ, like stealing Jack McDuff licks from the organ, and putting them on the guitar is always fun. And studying great pianists like Red Garland, like he put on some Red Garland stuff, and there's like a really undeniable swing and swagger to the way Red played, and yeah, just a really great player, and there's cool stuff that can be learned on from that. So thanks, Noah. I'll respond to your email after I've done this stream. Garibaldi attitudes, yeah, check them out if you get a chance. Right, so shall we talk about some music? Shall we do some stuff? So just one more reminder, somebody said that they'd rather just give me money. Well, the best way to do that is head on over to my Patreon page. You can get access to hundreds of transcriptions, ear training videos, weekly guided practice routines, private lessons, and much more. You can also head on over to the Patreon and you can get the guitar profiles for any of my books. Of course, you can head on over to Amazon and get the books first, but the guitar profiles are on my Patreon. If you want to check out the new book, it is Guided Guitar Arpeggio Practice Routines, which of course we're going to be kind of checking on a little bit with some of the material that we're looking at today. And just to drill this point home, there is a link in the description. If you don't want to give me any money, just head to the link in the description, download the free PDF and guitar profile for this particular routine that we're going to look at today, so you can practice along with me. So, oh, I'm sorry about the hotel Wi-Fi, dude. I didn't watch the Beato video, no. Mine and Ben Ella's, yeah. Oh, Ben is such a nice guy. I've known Ben for so many years, and it was so nice to get to hang out with Ben in the flesh. Let's go here. Yeah, really, really nice to hang out with Ben in the flesh, and be amazed at how short Ben is. Though it was one of those funny things. I met up with one of my patrons today. I went out for lunch with one of my patrons that's from Nevada. He was just over in the UK, so I said, "Yeah, well, absolutely meet up and get some food." And he made the comment. He was like, "I had no idea how tall you were going to be, because I didn't even know if you had legs, because I've only ever seen you sitting down," which makes sense, I guess. But I'm quite a tall boy. I'm over 6 foot, and Ben Ella is not over 6 foot. And I don't know, Ben in video, I don't know, carries himself as, he appears like he's quite a tall chap, but he wasn't as tall as I expected. But he's so friendly and so funny. He's such a funny guy, and he treats everybody like they're a star. And what I mean by that is he doesn't treat stars like they're important. Everybody's just a person to Ben. And watching him engage with people, from famous people to me, to people that were just in attendance but not guitar players, but also my partner Melissa, she really hit it off with Ben because he just took an interest in her as a person, and that's like a really good trait in a person. So Ben Ella, one of the best. Okay, so let's talk about stuff. So what are we looking at today? Let's see how long I can bear to do it on this guitar, because the tone on this guitar is terrible, but that's what you would expect from a single bridge pickup guitar when I'm used to, with 9s on it, when I'm used to playing 13s on a hollow body jazz box with a neck pickup and the tone rolled down back. Can't do any of that on this. Everybody is just a person. That is correct. Everybody is just a person, but depending on how arrogant a person is, like Malmsteen's famously arrogant person, he doesn't act like people are just people. He acts like there's him, there's people that may be his peers, and then there's peasants that aren't worth his time or attention. That's certainly my experience of being around the man. Anyway, so we're looking at minor 7 vocabulary today. So for those that are unfamiliar with what a minor 7 chord or sound is, it's a set of intervals where we have the root, the flat third, the fifth, and the flat 7. If we put those all together, I guess you could go like to play a minor 7 chord on the guitar. Of course, this is much easier on the piano, but we have common voicings like, and that sound it's a common sound in music, that minor 7 sound. Now, of course, I think the obvious thing that people go to when it comes to playing over minor 7 chords is they go to the minor pentatonic scale. In fact, let me just lay down a minor 7 chord so we've got So the minor pentatonic will get you the sound. I added one note in there. That will totally get you there, but I think there's a richness that can come from studying the minor 7 arpeggio and getting really, really good at being able to pull out the sound of that particular chord, rather than needing to add that additional note so so the patterns work for you. Why not first get really, really good with the minor 7 sound itself and then understand, oh, okay, when a minor 7 chord happens, I can play minor 7 vocabulary. All of those notes are in the chord, right? But then I understand that the minor pentatonic or the blues scale or the pentatonic add 9 or Dorian, melodic minor, another sound that I love playing over minor 7 chords. All these things are additions to that. They're additional layers of complexity. And like for me, the study of arpeggios is really, really beneficial in helping you learn to play over chord changes. Because if you're looking to play 2 chords, F minor to B flat minor 7, like you get at the start of All the Things You Are, you are the promised gift of springtime that makes the only leaf belong. Like that F minor. I need now the first chord's F minor. I want to be able to play F minor 7, B flat minor 7. I need to know those sounds. They're very, very important that we can outline the sound of the actual chords. The break solo, man, you're going back. You're going back there, Steve. I'm trying to even think. The lick in there that I remember that I like is. Which is like a Phrygian dominant lick that I think is really cool. But you're calling in the old stuff there. Yeah, so let's take a look at the first example, right? So if I come over here to just the guitar with this notation on screen, and remember, oh look, I managed to capture that with the box in there for where the cursor was. Oh, that's very professional. Anyway, so when we take a look at that, what we have there is a minor 7 arpeggio played around our A-shaped chord form. See, this guitar doesn't want to stay in tune. We're changing. Cheap guitars don't stay in tune, guys. Now we're talking. Much more at home on this. My Gibson Howard Roberts fusion. Anyway, so what we're going to do is play that minor 7 arpeggio just as an ascending and descending pattern. So when you do that, you want to put a little bit of awareness on the actual intervals that you're playing. The root, the flat third, 5th, flat 7, root third, 5th, flat 7. And I say third, I mean third of the chord, not that it is a major third. So it's a minor chord, so it has a minor third. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. And you want to spend your time with that until that's really automatic. And again, if I just play a little loop, this is how we'd be practicing that, right? Trying to train it in so it's automatic. I'm playing alternate picking there. Oh, you're totally right, Bequeathed. Yeah, Steve Howe absolutely did play a Gibson Howard Roberts fusion. Good spot there. So you just want to make sure that's really drilled in. This is what practice is, right? I would do this until this is so automatic. I can't stress this enough, right? I'm talking to you while I'm doing it. Just completely freely talking to you. I'm not trying to talk in time with what I'm playing. I'm talking freely at you. This is something I picked up from organ players or organ teachers. When you watch an organist play, because he's doing so much, he's developed complete freedom in his mind. So when he's teaching an organist, he will play the organ with his hands and his feet, and deal with the controls and the Leslie, and he'll talk while he's doing it. And what that shows me is like a complete musical freedom. So I would encourage that, trying to talk to people while you're doing all these things. Okay, so once we're comfortable with that, we'll then move on to a different position. So what I've written here is around my E shape. And the way I've actually finished this one is again. So I'm just playing eighth notes. Then we do triplets. Then 16. It's a bit brisk for me. Definitely tensing up. Too fast. So when I do that, I'm playing all of the notes of the chord, so every note is a strong one. And knowing, this is the 7, this is the 3rd, this is the root, this is the 5th. 1, 3, 5. 3, 7, 1. 5, 3, 1. Really make sure you know the intervals is very important, because then when we move on to the next position, C shape, this is the one people always neglect. I love this shape. You don't need to sequence it like that. We'll talk about sequence in a second. We spend the time. You have to put in the time. People find practice really boring, and I understand that. I do. They want to play, but I think practice. I'm not a meditator. The closest I've ever come to meditating for me is practice, because I'm trying to play these things and have nothing else in my mind. Thinking about that client that I still need to email back, or the fact that I need to take the washing out of the dryer. I don't want to think about any of those things. We just drill these things. We go to another place. Maybe because I'm relaxing. Sweeping in one ear, likes that. But I like... Stop sweeping, Lima. Let's go. Don't put the pentatonic on. Now, you know, I don't want to say famous. I'm not famous for anything, other than maybe being an asshole on the internet. But I think, to myself at least, I'm famous for having quite a tense picking hand when the speed happens, because I'm not a fast player anymore. I don't shred anymore. You know, when I play over a 16th note groove like this, I'll play 16th notes, but I think more like Wayne Krantz, right? So I'm going to think rhythmically. I'm going to play 16th notes, syncopated stuff. So. Feel the need to do these long runs of 16th notes because I can't, but also it's not what I hear. I hear more bubbly, bouncy rhythms. I think like that. Try and think rhythmically like a snare drum solo, and that's how I do that sort of thing. So I don't want to do these long runs. So when I try and do this and play, it's not me, because I wouldn't do that when I'm playing. There's better ways to organise the fretboard if you're looking for speed, if speed is important to you. What's important for me is rhythmic consistency, and I get that from the old motion, so that's important for me. I intentionally didn't bring my guitar on this trip, and now I wish I had, damn it. Is it safe to assume that my knees hurt is you, Seth? Maybe. My playing style to Dickie Betts. That's I don't know about that. Not that I don't love Dickie Betts playing, but yeah. Dickie's a great player. I do too much outside. So that would be like the first step of making sure that is melodic minor. Good ear. My first step for making sure that I've got a sound down is making sure that I can play the arpeggios in position like that. So without thinking, just looking at the sky, right? Arpeggio is nailed down. Then what I would do is I would take each one of those positions and I'm going to take sequences through those arpeggios. Now sequences like this are great because they create really good technical challenges for you, because the nature of the arpeggio is that sometimes you'll have two notes on a string, sometimes you'll have one note on a string. So you just need to get good at dealing with the fingering and the picking for these things. So I'm just going to take the A shape and play a 4-note sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll take that, move over a little bit, I'll take that through the position. So 4 notes, starting on the root, then on the third, then on the fifth, then on the 7, root. And then we might come to... Now to me, as a sequence, what I'm doing there is, it is a pattern that I'm playing, of course, but I'm trying to hear it, right? Da da bo da da bo da 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 bo da 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 Now, not a singer, as you can see from the squeaky whaley sounds that I make. But what I'm doing there is I'm illustrating the things that I hear inside. So when I'm playing that sequence, I might be playing it like this, but I could... let's go. I'm just trying to do like obtuse fingerings for it, because it is a sequence that I'm hearing, right? But we practice it in position so we can challenge ourselves to make sure we know the position. And stuff like this is a great alternate picking workout. Put the loop on. Let's do eighths. Imagine my pain, my partner is a vocal teacher. A very good one. Now I'll do it with a triplet feel, so it's like 3 against 4. No. Now, of course, if the 16th note pattern like that is tricky, metronomes are flexible in time. I'm using a loop, so my loop isn't flexible. I need to record a new loop, but if that's what you need to do, you record a slightly slower loop so you can do it. And do I anchor my pinky, or is my right hand like free? So my right hand these days is completely free. I grew up anchoring my pinky like that, always on like that, and I would pick like John Petrucci like this. So it'd be, which I can't do anymore. But if I tremolo pick now, there's definitely an anchor there, right? But as my playing has developed into a more rhythmic based approach, where playing rhythm guitar is an important part of what I do, I tucked that away and I got used to just, I don't even rest my palm on the guitar. If I turn like this, you can see better. So, and that's, I think that comes from putting a lot of focus on your rhythm work. Oh yeah, this tailpiece is beautiful. It's not the tailpiece that the Steve Howe one had on it. His was the Fusion 3 with the single bridge piece with the fine tuners on it. These are fine tuners, and you can adjust them at the back. Very, very cool. Really like this. I have 2 of these. I have this sunburst one, but I have a black one as well. Anyway, so that's that sequence. Now you should be able to do that in all positions. That's pentatonic. And when you're doing anything like that, especially in a live stream like this, as a teacher, you don't want to make a mistake, but sometimes you're going to make little mistakes like that. But at the core, what I'm illustrating or what I'm trying to point out there is that's not something that I rehearsed before the stream. I didn't plan to do that, but I just did it because when we know a sequence, we should just be able to apply it to a position. So when I come up here, we might... It's just something that we do, and if I take different positions, like maybe, which is cage G shape, it's just something that we train into ourselves. So we're applying the sequence to a pattern. So those fours, I think, are like a great sequence to work on. But I have another one for you, and that's this take a note, skip a note approach. So what we do, take a note, skip the next note, so skip the third, so we play 1, 5. Then we go back to the 3, skip the 5, play the 7. Then we go to the 5, skip the 7, play the 1. So... So this really breaks the arpeggio up. Same idea for each one of those arpeggio positions. It wasn't something I rehearsed before the routine, before coming on the stream. I didn't write the examples out. I just knew that if these were a thing that I played in the lesson, they weren't a thing that I would hesitate doing because I understand the concept and I'm just applying the concept to the fretboard. Or frets to keep going, but you could hear that I latched onto what the sequence was and I just wanted to keep playing, so like that, right? It's me playing the notes of the sequence. So you want to be able to play that without real hesitation. Of course, this is just -7, but you should be able to do this for everything, right? For every chord sound. If it's a major 7 chord, we don't go, oh, how do I do that? G major 7. I go. Let's not put the 9 in there. It's too colourful. It's not the point. It's the 7, yeah. It's that. See the hesitation? I should practice it more. Sound. Same position. Same idea, different position. I can hear the idea very clearly in my head, but it's just a case of like when I go to do it on the fretboard. Can my hands execute the sound that I'm hearing in my head? We focus on the thing that we hear in our head, if that makes sense. So those are the easy exercises. Now we're going to jump onto the longer exercises, the harder exercises. So these are, okay, my knees hurt, enjoy. So, I mean, I say enjoy. If my dad was on the phone, that's unfair. So check out the download sheet in the description for this one, because this is a circle of fifths exercise, so the notation for this just wouldn't fit on screen. It's too long. But go and download the PDF and the guitar profile so you can study this in your own time. What we're going to do now is, this is something that I've taken on board in my practice so much more since becoming a piano player. And that's playing around the circle of fifths, so playing everything in 12 keys. Now on the guitar, that's sort of easy for us. Well, it's not sort of easy for us, it's very easy for us. Because we would just go, okay, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Now I'm playing the same shape, right? But I'm just moving it to different places. That's not enough of a challenge. So there's two challenges here. One is you have to know the circle of fifths. That's really important in order to do this exercise, and do it in the way where you're going to get the gains from it. So the gains that we're looking for here is expanding our brain, is to get faster at thinking and to be able to hear functional harmony. So circle of fifths, we're starting on C, and then we go to F. And it's just, I guess you could work it out like this, right? C, F, B flat, E flat. So we play C, F, and then we play, well, I always say C, F, B to G, B to G. And what I mean by that is B, E, A, D, G. But first we do it with flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G. Repeat. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G. Repeat. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, B, E, A, D, G. Repeat. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. That's all 12 keys in order. So your first step would be to use your looper and to just play those chords, right? So I'll say them as I do them, and we've got, we'll go this sort of speed. So delete that loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So C goes to F, which goes to B flat, which goes to E flat, which goes to A flat, which goes to D flat, which goes to G flat, which goes to B, which goes to E, which goes to A, which goes to D, which goes to G, and then we're back where we started. So C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G. And then we're going to go B flat, F, sorry, B flat, E flat, so on and so forth, round that circle of fifths. So I'm going to play that again for you, but with a bit of rhythm, so you can kind of feel the chord progression. ascending 1, 3, 5, 7 through those arpeggios. And it's a really good workout to always be able to hear the sound of the arpeggio from the root note. Let me just answer this question. Do I ever play around with different tunings just to keep your visualization sharp? It's a really good question, Bequeathed. So yes, I've written books in open E and open G. Open E is really just open D, right? I can play in open E, and open G is just open E, but everything shifted over a string. So I don't find those particularly difficult to play in because I have my triad bass visualization down for them. But no, beyond that, I don't play in other weird altered tunings because visualization it's hard to keep visualization sharp when you're constantly mixing things up, is what I would say. And I play in open E less than I did. Well, I used to play a lot more slide guitar, but now I play more, straight head, jazz and bop influence stuff, and there's no real room for slide in that. So anyway, so this is our chord progression, and we, like I say, we're just trying to test ourselves, and we're making it very easy. You just want to start from the root note. You should always be able to hear it. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. B flat, E flat, D flat, E flat, A flat, sorry, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D. You can play weird fingers. Weird fingers. You're just trying to get better at connecting those things together with just the ascending arpeggio. And it's a really nice exercise. How do I phrase this? It's a nice exercise when you can do it. But I also appreciate the frustration that comes in when you can't do it, but you feel that you should be able to do it, if that makes any sense. Because at its core, it's a simple idea. But if you're not really rock solid, if you can't play a minor 7 arpeggio with your index finger on the E string and the A string and your pinky finger on the A string and your pinky finger on the E string, and I guess root on the D string, it's going to happen too. You could do third finger on the D string, like all of these minor 7 sounds. Because I've internalized the sound of the arpeggio, I don't think so much about the physical. I'm doing that and I'm not looking at the guitar because I'm just following the sound of the arpeggio, if that makes any sense. A new jazz standard, perhaps, Weird Fingers, Matt Berry special in C. It's not one I'm. I feel that's. I feel I know exactly what you're talking about there. I know what it's the. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about there. So you have to know that, and how do we get good at all of that stuff if not for putting in the time? That's the real truth of all of these things. The amount of students I have, and actually, forget my students. I don't want to talk shit about my students because I need you to understand it's not the student, it's the human that's the problem, right? It's not my students that make this error in their practice and their study. I make it too, There are so many aspects of playing music that I know I need to be better at that thing. But hopefully I just magically get better at it, No, it doesn't work like that, right? We have to. The beautiful guitar, James. This is my Gibson Howard Roberts Fusion 3. I have 2 of these. This one, and I have one in black as well. Beautiful guitar, strung up with 13s. Yeah, 13s, flat wound 13s. It's really nice. It's not my favourite of all of my guitars. I've not used my favourite in a video since getting it, but Richard, thank you for checking out the book, man. I appreciate it. Speaking of, head on over to Amazon. The link in the description. You can get a PDF as well if you want to buy a PDF, but go and get guided guitar arpeggio practice routines, which is available now. It comes with hours and hours of guided audio, so me playing the exercises, but also playing the full routines and talking you through them as I'm doing them. So, and once you've got that, Richard, you're one for this. You got the book, you enjoy it, cool. Go and get yourself the guitar profiles on my Patreon page. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, practicing and knowing you have a weakness and just getting better at that weakness is really important, because the next exercise, and again, this one's even longer, so you definitely want the Guitar Pro and the PDF file. Minor 7 shredding, like what does that even mean? No, I can't shred anymore. Sorry. It's not in my wheelhouse. Avida, sorry. There are better guitar players to go to if you want to learn to shred. Anyway, so I'm going to play through that chord progression again, but now with this dog is just dying, man. With twice as long on each chord. Whoops. Now we have to be able to play full arpeggios. So C goes to F, to B flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, F. Let's do that again. Fun C. Trying a different position. Let's go. There we go. Just like trying to follow my ear and do that. Autumn leaves. I mean, to be fair, it's not a completely unreasonable request to play something like Autumn Leaves. When you are playing something like Autumn Leaves, there are minor 7 chords that you like. So I think people play that song in G. They also do it in E minor, but I think G. So it is like the next level of the exercise because it cycles through the chord chain. It's basically a cycle rate. Immediately play the mistake. Let's go from the start again. C minor F7, not C minor F minor. So C minor F. But I'm just it's the same principle. You want to be able to play through that and go C minor, F7, B flat major 7. C minor, F7, B flat, E flat major 7, and then we're A minor 7, flat 5. There we go. That's my hesitation. To D7, G minor, G7. So it's not amazing jazz at all. I'm not a jazz player, but there's your idea. Now I do that with lots of chord progressions. You know, earlier I referenced like All the Things You Are. Similar thing. When you play around that, there's a key change in it. If you just play the first part of it, like. Need to know there's your melody, your basic melody. But arpeggio, F minor, E flat, So it's the same idea, right? It's just me. It's just me trying to think chord changes and outline actual chord changes. Gone are the days of trying to melt people's faces off. Gone are the days of being able to melt people's faces off. I think the most important thing that you learn as you develop as a player, as you get, it's not as a player actually, as you get older as a human, young people come along that can do everything that you used to be able to do, and they can do it better than you used to be able to do it. Trying to keep up with young men is a fool's game. Also, guess what? No one pays me to all that. No, I just don't get paid to do that, you know? We're not bitter at all. I never get paid to do that. I get paid to play melodic stuff. I get paid to sit on. That's where the money is. So, and I'm interested in paying my mortgage and buying nice guitars. So, focusing on the stuff that is just fast isn't the one for me. Anyway, so let's move into the kind of the final chapter, if you like, of this routine stuff. So, I believe this exercise. Yeah. So, I'm going to bring someone on screen for myself so I can see the exact way I notated this, because as it's at its core, what I'm doing here, move things around a little bit so I can see you guys. Where did chat go? Bloody hell. Oh, I have to click that, move that. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, when I click that, it goes away. So click that. There we go. Cool. Right. So, yeah, just as a reminder, make sure that you head on over to the link in the description. Download the full sheet for this, because that exercise, the way I've written that, I didn't play it the way I'd notated it because it's not a memory exercise for me. It's an exercise in this is the chord progression, outline it. Once you've challenged yourself with that, then we get into the interesting stuff. Now, the interesting stuff is when your arpeggios break out of position. For me, C minor is a lot of things, but at its core, it's C, E flat, G, B flat. And we can play C, E flat, G, B flat in position, like that. But we can also play C, E flat, G, B flat, C, E flat, G, B flat, C, E flat, G, B flat, C. Like, that's me playing a C minor 7 arpeggio, but in a horizontal fashion. And in order to be able to work on that stuff, you have to just get better at knowing, no matter what you play, if this is the fifth, after this comes the flat 7. And the flat 7, ba-da, is that sound, okay? And there is only two options. It's either ba-da or ba-da, ba-da. Let's say you went here. Ba, after this, ba-da. There's only two ways you can get to that note. You can change string, or you change position. And I don't look at the fretboard for that. It's hearing it. So 1 to 3 is either, or 3 to 5 is either, or 5 to flat 7 is, or 7 to 1, or 1 to 3, 3 to 5. There's infinite ways that you can do this. And one way that I've notated it on screen for you is to go. That's a good position because you can get some speed on that. Mixing things up there. So the exercise, I looked at that before you played it and saw it as a sweep starting on and up. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Richard. Sorry. Anyway, so you take your time with an idea like this. You just lay down a C minor loop. we just explore. So notated, and you do quarter notes to give yourself all the time to move. Now to me that's freedom. Let's do it in a different way. Different way. Start on the G. Different each time. I'm missing the 7. So to me, that's like real good knowledge of the arpeggio, yeah. And so what I did there is I picked C specifically because we could start low down here. Now I wouldn't then say, okay, let's do the same thing in C, but starting in the E shape because we're too high. So I want to start in the E shape, but I'll pick a different key. So G minor. If I lay down a G minor, let's get rid of that. So, and I'm reading the way that I've notated this for you guys. So it's just a G minor 7, but different ways we can do that. Total freedom, yeah? Just total freedom. That's a really obtuse way of doing things. We played, I played the G there, so I went. You'd never play it fast like that, it's not the point, but it's about just being able to hear your arpeggio. And a great way to test yourself on this is just close your eyes. Let's bring my face up to you for this so you can see that I am indeed closing my eyes. And I'm trying to follow my ear. Where does this note go? Ba-da, 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 da. I'm singing pentatonic. That's hearing it. If I was here, we go. And it's like that. The closing of the eyes and really engaging with the arpeggio that you're playing on really helps to move your ear. You know, playing linearly on the fretboard is one of the best things that you can do because it helps you transition positions. It helps you really engage your ear with the chord that you're playing on, with the sound that you're playing over, and that's what we're doing, right? We're playing sounds. So when you have chord changes, if I go, let's do like we'll do the living cliche. C minor to E flat minor. You can positional based knowledge. But I think hearing. Let's see. Is the linear, when I switch into E flat and I go E flat even, let's try that again. Those transitions where I it frees me to move around and do a lot of the bendy licks I like to do. Ideally when I'm not playing a guitar that has 13s on it. Yeah, so that's let me. Oh, I appreciate I didn't show you the idea. So we did the C, and then I've notated the G on screen for you there. We go. And it's just a real engaging with the sound that you're playing on. So I would encourage you as a final exercise. Let's pick G because I did all these exercises in C originally. If I go back to my G. Just get that a bit groovier. So ignore the mistake again. C shape. Again, without the mistake. C shape, and just make sure we can play those sequences. And when you're real comfortable with those, then we start asking ourselves, okay, how much can we go? 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5. There somewhere. Then I'll sit with it. I'll just. I'll even say shape, C shape, transitioning to A shape. tweezers. Just control, right? Why am I making that? But the outside. G. Do you think you'll start a rhythm series showcasing the most solid rhythm players you can muster the strength to cover? That's a really interesting question. In all honesty, I'm going to say no, and not because I don't think that there's value in the thing that you're doing there, but man, trying to get people to click on videos where they're excited about rhythm, it's so hard to get people into stuff like that. Like, I'm super into that rhythm thing because it's where the money is, isn't it? I love playing that funky All that, when I shift into playing the lead stuff, it doesn't actually excite me in the same way playing the cool rhythm stuff does, because when I guess you're expressing yourself a lot when you play the lead stuff, but the rhythm stuff that's what makes the song work, you know? That's what makes people remember. It's like me playing rhythm guitar and Melissa singing. That's a song. That's something that people want to listen to. And that is so powerful. But when it comes to like what it means to be like a great rhythm guitar player, I studied a little bit of Connor Cole. In the same way lots of people studied Connor Cole. It's when John McLaughlin put out his old DVD introducing the concept to guitar players. Jesus, getting off 20 years ago now. But yeah, rhythm is just like where it's at, and like different people have different tastes in what it means to be a good rhythm guitarist. Like as I've developed, I listen to a lot more like neo soul stuff now, and gospel, where it's a lot cooler to be really lazy with your swing feel. Not to the point that you add Amelia, where you try and count the swing feel and do a quintuple feel, because those guys, they're not counting it. It's a thing they're feeling. And when you listen to the swagger on those things, it's like, I don't even know what it means to be a good rhythm guitar player in those settings. Like Jubu Smith appeared on, Jubu was on with Mason for Vertex Effects. He did a video with Mason. That was really cool to see him get some attention, because he's a great guitar player. Jarius Mosey, another one who could do with more attention. I've learned a lot from guys like Jarius Mosey and Isaiah Sharkey. Just like really authentic gospel influence in the stuff that they play. But it's hard to get people to appreciate it. And you talk about like Stax Records and like Steve Cropper's all over that stuff, and it's such an underappreciated approach or genre or style of music. So much so that like when people, I've never been a big Hendrix fan. When I listen to Hendrix, I go, oh, so he's playing soul music, isn't he? And then there's a fuzz pedal. You listen to a lot of that stuff, and you're like, oh, he's taken a lot of Curtis Mayfield stuff and a lot of Steve Cropper stuff, and doing it in a blues and rock setting. And lots of people are like, oh yeah, like Jimmy, like, oh, that's Jimmy stuff. That's like all Jimmy. And you go, well, no, like people get stuff from places. Jimmy grew up playing, like he was with Little Richard. So he has all that authentic soul thing in there. And like, it's just such a tough sell, because I think that while Jimi Hendrix is widely regarded as the greatest guitar player of all time, because that's what magazines tell you to think, how many guys do you know that can really play Jimmy's rhythm and know where it came from? They're not interested in it. Even like the big fans, they're just not interested in it. It's such a shame, because I think that the study of like, one of the things I teach in my weekly guided practice routines. Check out weekly guided practice routines on Patreon. Early on is we do Sam and Dave's Soul Man, right? And when I play that, all that intro, like classic. There we go. Just this. Like that's such a simple thing where you're just, it's a G, and then you go, oh, keep the rhythm going. This is like the 2 chord, but it's over the 1, very gospel. practice that. I love that. I do like O and G. It's tricky to do at speed. All those like chordal things, it's so valuable, but like it's so tough to get people excited by it, and I'm like really excited by that stuff. So I guess that's maybe a reason for me to do things. Absolute joy listening to this type of live stream. I'm really glad that you're enjoying it, Mike. Thank you so much for the kind comment, and I'm going to do one of these every single week. So what we've got here, hankies in the headstock next time. I'm not sure what that means. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, I want to. I'll do one of these every week, and there will be downloadable Guitar Pros and PDF files. So help me out, right? Go and download yourself a PDF and a Guitar Pro, and just share these videos. Share these videos. It's all very much appreciated. It's a big help. Right, how are we doing for time? Yeah, I'll wind up. So any questions, fire them in now. I'll answer them. But I'm signing off in a few minutes because I'll do these every week, Wednesday night at 10 p.m. UK time for 90 minutes, and we'll just hang out. We'll talk music, and I'll teach you some stuff, and you can ask questions, and we'll have fun. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed the stream, please do. It's brought to you by my Patreon page. So if you want access to my Patreon page, which is a great way to support me and my work, you get access to hundreds of transcriptions, ear training videos, weekly guided practice routines, a private lesson with me, and so much more. I sneezed earlier. Did I sneeze? I don't remember sneezing. I really don't remember sneezing. Oh, the dog sneezed. The dog keeps sneezing. Little Brover down there. I'll bring him on the stream to say goodbye to you guys. Yeah, so you can join my Patreon and get access to all of that stuff over there. I would also really appreciate if you would like to go and check out a copy of my latest book, Guided Guitar Arpeggio Practice Routines. You can go and grab yourself a copy of that on Amazon. Link is in the description. Put a lot of work into it. And you could also go and get yourself my guitar profiles for any of the books. They are available. Come on, little buddy. Come here. Come here. They're available on my Patreon page. Got him. Hey, bud. Yeah, he was the little sneezer. Say hello to everyone, bros. My best pal, my only pal. Stinky little beast. Hey, son. Be famous, little brother. If they won't tune in for me, they'll tune in for you. Yes. You're a star. So any questions from anyone? I'll sit here for another couple of minutes stroking this little boy. Then I'll take him out. Sausages doesn't work when you type it. Bequeathed. What have I had? Sausages. The culprit, yeah. Stinky little boy. He's such a good boy though. He's getting on. He's definitely getting on a bit now. But we do everything together, don't we? He thinks the sun shines out of my backside. It's nice. It's nice to have that unconditional love, isn't it? I could just do a live stream where I sit and scratch this little demon for making noise while I'm streaming. I don't always bring him out to the studio when I'm working. Certainly not when I'm filming. But for whatever reason, I thought I'd bring him out while I was streaming. And here we are. Next gig. That is a good question, Bequeathed. I am gigging every weekend for the rest of the month. And every single one of them is a piano gig. I'm gigging in... Let me check my calendar. Stay there, buddy. Stay there. So I'm in Butterfly and Pig this coming Saturday, playing piano with Melissa. Then I am in the Radisson Red on the 22nd, playing piano with Melissa. And the 23rd and the 30th, I am in the Corinthian in Glasgow, playing piano with Melissa, because people will pay for piano gigs. Guitars are a tricky one. I have a Hogmanay gig. I'll be playing Maggie Mays. Maggie's Rockin' Rodeo, I guess they call it now, with the band. So I'll be playing guitar on that. I might take the keyboard for just like a couple of songs, but the stage is pretty small, so maybe not. We'll see what I feel like playing. But yeah, that's what the future holds for gigs. And yeah, thanks for the question. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure, but I am going to go and walk this fat little wanker. Yeah, that's you. But thank you so much for tuning in. You've been awesome. I've just been me. But I will see you again, hopefully, next Wednesday. One more time, please do go and share this stream. More people tune in for them, the more inclined I am to do them, all right?